It's time for Maggie and the Moms, sponsored by Tampa General Hospital. Welcome to Maggie and the Moms, where we celebrate but never sugarcoat parenting. On our panel today is Janine Grays. She is a mother of 3 who loves to cook and shares her recipes for busy families on Cook, Pray, Slay. Stephanie Rodriguez-Neely back as well. She has 5 children, as well as a big network of moms that she connects through her Tampa Bay Moms Group, which is a great resource for networking with other moms. And Stephanie Shepard, a mother of 2, whose inspirational blog, Great Life is a Must, is all about finding the courage to keep pursuing your dreams regardless of setbacks. A great message. Welcome back, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Let's tackle our first topic. It involves a tweet by singer Pink. She expressed her frustration over parents exploiting their own children on social media, and she singled out one, a 14-year-old YouTuber named Piper Raquel. This is the tweet that Pink sent out that ignited quite the social media debate. Let's show it for you right here. She wrote, "How many kids like Piper Raquel are being exploited by their parents? And at what point do the rest of us say this isn't okay for a 13-year-old to be posing in a bikini whilst her mother takes the photo?" So I should say that both Piper and her mother have responded to this criticism, saying there is nothing wrong with the content that the 8th grader puts out. And she also says that, you know, this is something that a teenager in a bikini is not something that is sexual unless it is viewed that way. So I'm curious to know your thoughts about this debate and what you would do with your own children if this came up. Let's start with you, Janine.
So this is actually a really, topic that's really important to me. A mother of 3 girls, for Pink to call out another parent and a child, I probably wouldn't have done that, but I think it's important for us to recognize that child exploitation on social media is a thing. It's a serious thing. And so I think it's really important for us as parents, just to really be mindful of the images we're putting out there of our children, because there are predators out there. And so once you put those images out, you just don't know how those pictures of your kids are going to be used. It's a tough thing. I understand where Pink is coming from. I probably would have gone about it in a little bit different of a manner.
You agree, Stephanie?
So here's my take is, first of all, a predator's a predator. They don't care if your child is wearing, head to toe covering. They don't care if they're wearing a bathing suit. They are a predator. They are sick. So it doesn't really matter what they're wearing. They will find a way to sexualize it anyway. Yes, certain pictures and poses can provoke it a little bit and can get spread very easily. But my issue is, we are a society of 2 minds, and I personally am of 2 minds with it as well, because we reward the sexualization of women and children. Sex sells. We see it in media, we see it in marketing, we see it in music. We've seen it in Pink's, career. But at the same time, we say, oh, we shouldn't judge a girl. She should be able to wear what makes her happy and confident. So we're really not practicing what we preach as a society. We're saying don't do this, but hey, you should be able to do this. We need to come together and, as a group, not point the finger at the mom, not point the finger at the kid, and say, where is that line? What's crossing it? And what am I personally going to do to stop it? If Pink doesn't like it, calling attention to it publicly, she just gave this girl a much larger platform.
Sure.
And I do agree with the girl. It's sexualized because you're looking at me in a sexual way. She was in a bikini. I looked at the pictures. She's confident and she's comfortable, and good for her, because how many 14-year-olds can say that? So when she's out there trying to look pretty, like I've done myself sometimes in a cute pose, that's something everyone does. If you don't like it, unfollow. If you don't like it, ignore it. But bringing more attention to it, you're really just making it worse. I mean, like I said, it's a double-edged sword.
Stephanie?
Yeah, I definitely. So my initial thought is, if this is how this mom wants to present her daughter to the world, who am I to judge that? It's not anything illegal. We do have to say that, yes, exploitation of kids does happen. It happens quite often. But I also do agree that I feel like the onus of intention is on that content creator. Whatever it is that you're putting out, you have to be okay with that in yourself and know that what is your intention for putting this out? What are the messages that you want the world to see or to receive from that? And the onus of interpretation, though, is on the viewer, the user. And so it is up to us, the world, that gets to decide, is this too sexual? Is this not sexual? Is this fun? Is this too much? Is this too little? As a content creator, you have to be able to be ready to have those conversations,
and have the consequences from that.
And yes, and there could be consequences. So I think it's, you can't control it. You could have on a turtleneck swimsuit, pants, and all of that. And like you said, someone could view that as sexual. So, I mean,
have you seen the pictures?
Yeah,
I thought they were
definitely
fun.
have.
I mean,
yeah,
she's you know, a very mature looking 14-year-old.
She
But I thought they
is,
were
yeah.
a kid having fun in a pool with her friends.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I don't
agree.
think that you need to worry about how other people view it. However, I do think that you need to talk to your children about so many things. So number one, make them aware of who can view it, because once you put something out there, it is out in the world, never to be taken back. So whenever you post anything, you know, your friends are going to see that. When you're applying to colleges, they're going to see that. Potential future employers are going to see that. Know that before you post, always. And also know that it can be misused by people with bad intentions. And more, I think the most important thing is talk to them about their reasons for posting what they post. If you're confident and you're posting that picture because you're confident and you don't see it as sexual, great. But if you're posting that because you feel like you need to post pictures of yourself in a bikini to show everybody how pretty you are, or to get boys to think you're hot, or to be popular, that for me is problematic. I think that this particular example just opens the door to so many necessary conversations that mothers need to be having with their children.
I agree, because I don't think, like you said, Pink really should have gone in on the mother, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it has given us an opportunity to have these discussions. So if nothing else comes from it but that, but I
Amen.
mean, you're giving a 14-year-old more negative attention. Pink knows what that's like.
And to
personally.
single
you know.
one person out, I thought was surprising, because this is every teen.
And
it is
Pink
the
knows what
norm,
it's like
not
to be
the
on the
exception.
receiving end of that bad, you know, press and those critiques.
I was
Like,
surprised that she
at her.
Anyway, all right, we got to move on to topic number 2. It involves a question that was posed by a mom whose account I follow on social media, Perfectionist Mommy, and she gave me permission to share her posts. So let me show you. She posted this quote here. It says, "Few parents have the courage and independence to care more for their child's happiness than for their success." So here's the question. Do you agree with that? Do you think that we put too much pressure on our kids academically to make the straight A's, to get into a good college, to then go on to have a lucrative career, instead of saying, do what makes you happy? Stephanie.
Absolutely. So my dad, God rest his soul, would always say to me, go and just do something that you love. That way you don't wake up on Monday and hating Mondays and hating what you do, and you're stuck, you know, spending all of your working years behind a desk that at a job that you don't like, you know. And so I think for me, that is absolutely how I want to raise my kids as well. I want them to understand that their happiness really is an indicator of their success, and those two things go hand in hand. And so I love to kind of draw from my experiences being in Germany, and my daughter was in a daycare there since she was 2 years old. And they just love to let their kids learn through play. There is no pressure for you need to be reading by the time you're 4, you need to be doing all these things and writing your name. And that our meetings were not about that. It was just about, is your daughter having fun? Is she getting along with others? Things like that. So to me, in America, we sell this American dream from a young age, and we kind of present it as if there's just one dream, one way to success, and really that definition changes for different people, and it should change for, you know, from person to person, and we don't sell that message instead.
It's interesting that you said that, because we just interviewed an author last week. She wrote a book called Ready or Not, for which she interviewed a lot of people who hire people, and they say they don't look for the academic background. What they look for is the social interaction, the manners, the work ethic. Those things are getting more people hired than the academics. What do you think,
I
Stephanie?
agree completely, and we try to instill that very young. Everything from hobbies and even sports. You know, my daughter's done gymnastics her whole life, and she spends more time doing that than anything else. And there's days where she's like, I don't want to go, I don't feel like it. And I always tell them, like, does it still make your soul sing? Are you still happy when you do it? Does it give you joy? And if you are, great. And if you're not, we can walk away. Your happiness is what matters. And of course, she always says, oh yeah, that's what I want. But I let her know all the time, like, you know, check your happiness level. I tell them all the time, find what makes your soul sing. If you see something and it doesn't make your soul sing, it might not be for you. And again, my 2-year-old, I say it to him, I say it to my 22-year-old. You know, happiness, like you said, success is being a happy person, happy life. It's not about money. It's not about prestige and notoriety. It's really about the joy you find in your own life.
Exactly right. What do you think?
Oh, I totally agree with you ladies. Absolutely. But I do have to admit, I mean, you know, I have to call myself out sometimes, because at the end of the day, like, we want the best for our kids, right? And so I have to check myself sometimes, like, okay, just back off and let them, you know, express how they really feel and where they want to go. I've lived my life, or I've got my life. Let my kids live their
Yes.
lives. And so I totally agree with you guys.
But we are
and
conditioned to try to have people strive for perfection. I mean, it's just
Well,
our, like you
yes,
said,
and
it's a society
there's
thing.
something
Yeah.
that this particular woman in the same post, brought to my attention. It's something called Berg, basking in reflective glory. I think a lot of parents have to be careful of that because they think that their kid's success is a reflection of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't try to make your kid what you think he or she should be or what you wish you would have been. Ask
I
them
see it all the time.
what
Yep.
makes you happy. And yes, go to school, work hard in school,
Try your
go to
best.
college so that you can get a degree and get a job. I'm not saying you have to go to Harvard, you have to be a millionaire. You just have to be a functioning adult who pays the bills and gets a job that will hopefully make you happy, will make you happy, will be fulfilling, and affords you the time to do other things. Because I couldn't agree more. It's all about how you define success.
That's right.
And I think we all agree that success equals happiness when you prioritize the right things. Ladies, thank you so much. It was a fun one. Out of time, no time for the wheel. It'll be next time.
We never get to the
I
wheel.
know. Daytime will be right back.